Before we actually start this video, I wanted to remind you that if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, to please do so. We're trying to get up to 100 subscribers so that we can get our custom URL, and that's a big step for any new channel on YouTube. So please, please, please subscribe to this channel. Now for the video. Good morning. This is Bowtie Dave for Bowtie Life. Getting ready to start our June garden tours. This is the first part, which will, like the last few months, cover the front yard and the side yard, and talk a little bit about how to remove worry about any food shortage, because, you know, in fact, I've got a t-shirt coming from Roots and Refuge. It's a favorite saying. It says, less fear, more plants. And even if you're just growing a tomato plant, what a great thing to do. And you know, they keep saying that we're going to have this food shortage coming up here soon, and you know, if just half the people out there grew a tomato plant or a cucumber plant or something, I don't personally think that any shortage is going to happen. It's just how I feel. Lord provides. Anyway, so we're up here in the front, and I'm going to get around here to this in a minute, but you'll notice right over here we have a new bed. If you didn't see the video from last Saturday, you can go back and look at it, but talked about how to build a new bed. Let that plane pass overhead. But I talked about how to build a new bed and everything that went into it, and you'll notice that there is no weeds growing in it at all. It's been there for a week today. The little plants that you see right here on the corner, those are actually pansies that I did put in there, and we're going to be putting some more plants in there. In fact, I have a number of Nasturtium and Zinnias that we're going to be planting in there today, and maybe get a little more color in there. Oops, I do see a blade of grass coming up back here. I have to take care of that. But I do want to start over with our normal beginning, and that's the strawberry bed. It's very exciting. The strawberry plants are propagating like crazy. They are shooting out runners right now, which is the big goal for this season. Making more plants, and in the future, when we have a lot more plants, we'll be cutting off a lot of those runners so that it'll focus more on fruit. But for this year, we're looking at getting as many plants in that area as possible. Now, last year I started off my strawberry grow bag. In fact, one of these 25-gallon grow bags, that's what I started in. I had 4 seeds that I started from a Walmart strawberry, and in one season it went from 4 to over 40 plants. So we've got almost 50 plants over there right now, and maybe we'll have 500 plants for next year. That would be the dream. So we'll start off taking a look at that and some other fruits that are coming to bear right above the strawberries. I don't know if you can see that lizard that just ran off over there, but plenty of lizards around. So this is the sweet berry, and you'll notice that the strawberries are actually kind of shriveling a bit. It's kind of hot out here. I did have some broken irrigation, and so this was not getting as well watered until this morning. So some of the brown we're seeing here has been solved. I've been kind of watching this. There was a head that's just right up over here that's supposed to water this bed that wasn't doing a good job, and it was letting some of these top ones die, not get quite as much water as they needed. We have been harvesting strawberries from this. In fact, you can see there's a strawberry right down here. This is a Ozark Beauty, and what we've been doing is not eating them, but freezing them, because we want to gather up enough. And it hadn't been a huge harvest. That's the downside. It hadn't been an enormous harvest. So, but there are strawberries around, and I still use the little blue trays to set them on so that the slugs don't get them. When the slugs get them, they kind of eat them out from the bottom, like this one. In fact, nope, not a slug in there right now. But anyway, like I said, the exciting thing is these runners are really beginning to take off. And in fact, look at that right down in there. It is already starting to root down there. And every time these new plants come across, in fact, you can see there's still a little water on that leaf right there. But every time these new little runners come out, they plant out more strawberry plants. So here's the mother plant. There's the, whoop, see, that needs to be out of the way. There's the first one getting ready to take root. Tons and tons of plants. So, and of course the pomegranates, we're getting more flowers in the pomegranates, which is exciting. The flowers, we got flowers in all stages. And I mean all stages. So these pomegranates are really starting to look like pomegranates. This part is beginning to fill up with the seeds, the arils, I think they're called, getting swelled up. We have a bunch of them. In fact, if I come up over here to this other tree, you can see there's just tons and tons of them. Some of these trees are absolutely loaded with pomegranates. I've never grown pomegranates before, so this is a new experience. This one here is starting to change color. I have to find out when these things are actually ripe. Very exciting. So we did have an event happen this past week. There was a little bit of a fire and windstorm, and so one of our neighbors lost some trees, and as a result we got a wood pile. Yeah, it's one big wood pile. I'm gonna have to move a lot of this. I actually have another irrigation head down in here, which is why I had to fix that other irrigation head, because look, it can't get to the strawberries now. So this was the only one watering the strawberries, and that's not happening now. Oh, this stuff smells so sweet. I don't know what kind of tree this is, but the tree guys actually told me that this orangey type of wood here, the smell of it actually keeps away critters. So, but we buried some of our strawberries, and that was okay. I told him it's fine. He actually did a lot better than I thought he would. I just saw a strawberry down here. Look at there. It's another strawberry. Put that on a, see, that's a good one there. That one's gonna have trouble. Gonna put this on one of these little lids to keep them off the ground. Maybe we'll get something out of that. But because these strawberries are spending so much energy on new plants, they're not producing as much strawberries, which again is what we want. This is the direction we need to go this year to get this bed filled out. So the Nasturtium, of course, are struggling. That's the little shrivelly plants in the edges that you might see here and in the rest of the video. They don't like the direct sun like this, so it's okay. They will live their life. And of course, we're still fighting dollarweed. You can see here the dollarweed. I talked about that in one of the previous videos. Look at that. Because we're using mulch and loose compost, it just comes right out. So I can pull that out, set it on top, and it will die. There's some Dichondra down here. That was the one I was trying to think of the other day. Couldn't for the life of me come up with. This is Dichondra. You can tell by the shape of the leaf. So, we have new wood chips. I got a year's worth of wood chips here. I'm sure of it. Now, I've already stated about my lawn, I don't cut it as many as most people. And you might notice that my sidewalks are nice and edged now. One of my neighbors came over with a really fancy edger and edged my sidewalks. It was very sweet of him. I have a lot of really good neighbors around here, but we got the fig tree here. Now, I'm not sure if the fig is keeping all of its figs. It does still look, if I lift this leaf, you can see here, there's still a lot of figs in here. Lots of figs. I don't know if it's dropped any or not. I'm hoping we'll get at least some fruit out of this year. But they're looking okay. And of course, there's a peppermint right there. And I don't know if y'all remember this. I actually harvested my peppermint about a month ago, and these things are not very far from getting ready to start harvesting again. There's that red solo cup right there is actually a Nasturtium. It probably won't make it. I have a bunch of them up there by the bird bath. But look at here. This is my first Jerusalem artichokes. When we planted a month ago, these bulbs, these roots, these things were what, a little over a foot tall, and now the ones I planted last month are over a foot tall. So these are Jerusalem artichokes, no flowers yet. I'm really excited to see the flowers come out of these, but they are shooting out. I mean, check out how many branches all of these have. It just branches. It's going to have a lot of artichokes on it. I can't wait to see it. We do still have some green globes in here. I don't hold out a lot of hope for those. It was kind of a first ditch effort to plant. And I wasn't sure if it was going to be anything anyway. I think I probably would have been best if I had planted them more in the fall, but we didn't have this property in the fall, so we did what we could. There's a Amaryllis coming up over here. Started off with one bulb. This one actually hadn't made any flowers yet, so I'm waiting for it to come up with something. One of my neighbors actually gave me, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 bulbs, 3 or 4 bulbs. Yeah, 4 bulbs. And now this one here is 3 more bulbs, so it's actually propagated itself already. So come the end of the season, we'll be able to dig this up, break apart however many bulbs we have, and spread them out around in different areas, and it will become more and more plants. There's a place nearby that he has hundreds of these, and it's just a beautiful area. But Mrs. Bowtie's flowers are still somewhat going strong in the lighthouse there. And of course the new bed. And this new bed, now I said it was bed number 18, and we even counted up at the end of the video last Saturday, but I realized I did not count the blackberry bed. So this is actually bed number 19. Oh, and I see the first little weeds popping up. Now I want to show you. We're going to try this again. It is 91 degrees out here, so my phone overheated just as I was about to show you why I really think you need to have loose soil, because when you have a weed like this, here's a piece of grass, notice how easy it is to pull it out. No extra damage, is not hooked to anything that's going to provide any resistance. The weed came out that easy. And what I do is I toss it over there onto the shoulder, or the sidewalk I mean, let it dry. And yes, I did step on it. I don't normally step on it. I try and, oh, here's another one. So now these are most likely seeds that came with the compost. This compost was sitting in my bin for a while, for several months. But this bed is beautiful. I am very pleased with how it came out. We already have some pansies in here that we've had in a cup for a very, very long time. In fact, I planted them March 20th, and they were sitting in a cup until Sunday maybe. And for a few days, they looked very wilty, but look at them now. They have all perked up and are looking good. Now, I'm not sure. I don't think this. Oh yeah, it is, okay. Interesting, all right. But these are Swiss giant pansies. Jennifer wanted pansy, Mrs. Bowtie wanted pansies this year. It's one of her requests. So here we are in the Pollinator garden, and a lot of extra weeds up in here. Haven't done a lot with this, but we do have some beautiful zinnias. Look at this red one right here. This is gorgeous. And this orange one over here. We dropped the phone. There we go. Orange one over here. Purple and white. And there's some strugglers in there. But this is where we have our orange bell pepper. Check how big this one is. This is a second-year plant. This one here is getting pretty big. This is going to be ready to harvest pretty soon. There's still a little green on the backside. This one here is actually almost ready to harvest. Another zinnia. I may have to take Mrs. Bowtie some flowers. Nasturtium are still going okay over here because they do get a lot of shade. You can see this one's a little struggly. Most of these nasturtium will struggle this time of year here in Florida, though. A lot of Dichondra in here, and again, these Dichondra, and it was a video I was trying to remember, video on making that bed. I couldn't remember the name of this, but the Dichondra is very invasive, and you basically, it's like the dollar weed. You can pull them up by the roots, and they actually grow their roots underneath the soil. And you can see I can peel it back. Not as easily as the dollar weed, but pretty easily. And we're trying to get some edging for these beds. If we had edging, it wouldn't be so bad here, because the edge of the bed is actually way back here. So we've got a lot of incursion here. So we're gonna have to get some edging in here to keep this invasion from happening so much. Look at this, these Dichondra have gone in several inches. That's the battle right now, is just keeping those off. The Thai plants, they're looking okay. Feeling like they're going to live finally. That has been a struggle. I did trim the hedges. I don't think these hedges were trimmed last time I did a tour. The pink flowers on the Crepe Myrtles, they have started to come out a little bit. I don't know how many are going to happen, but you can see that actually up over here, there's actually other flower heads coming, so there will be a lot more. It's just a little slow coming, probably because it's under the shade of the American sycamore tree. So not a lot happening over there in the asparagus bed. It's looking a little dry. It did get water today, but the asparagus is just wispy. It hasn't grown very much. We're just going to let that bed lie. I do have a little bit of a surprise for you though today. We did harvest some jalapenos and serranos out of there. But this is our date palm. And if you look carefully up there, you can see that the dates are growing. How'd you like to go up and take a look at those? I know I do. Let me go get the ladder. Okay, so the ladder is set up and Mrs. Bowtie is available in the wings if I fall, though I do feel pretty good today. So we're gonna climb the ladder and take a closer look at these dates, which I'm very excited about. These, in fact, we have an interesting array here because we have all stages of development. And well, actually, let's go with the beginning. So this, oh, there's a bee right there. This is covered with bees normally. Actually, I'm a little surprised the bees haven't found this. This sheath right here shoots up. You can see another one there. You can see that yellow sheath right there. It was green before this all popped out of it. But it starts off here as flowers, and you can see some of the flowers actually have dates developing in there. In fact, if I go in here in the middle, you can see there's dates actually starting to form. But this thing just opened up not too long ago, and then they start growing, and this is the next stage here. You can see these have started growing, and then they grow into this massive bundle of dates. These are dates, and they're pretty hard, but they will develop into a fruit. In fact, you can see there's some more of these growing back over there. But these will develop into the fruit, and they will start to dry on the tree. That's actually a little bit of softness, just a tiniest bit of softness. Anyway, so as these develop, they'll turn into a pinkish brown, I think is what they said, and you're supposed to pick them. Now, the people who raise dates actually put these things in a bag right here, like this thing here, in a big mesh bag so the birds don't eat them. And that's going to be the problem this year, is I don't have any bags, so birds are going to get most of these. But this is the final step here. They're all dry and brittle. This is from last year, but it's still got a little flexibility, but this needs to get cut out to make room for better growth. But anyway, so that's dates, and there are literally hundreds of dates here, hundreds of them. I mean, this is a massive bundle of dates I have in my hand here. So that is our date palm. Very exciting. So climbing that date palm, which is right there, it's out in the sun. So let's see if we can do another segment here without overheating the phone. So this is, y'all might remember, there used to be another trellis here with the sugar snap peas, and we took it down because it just wasn't going to work, and eventually we're going to end up with arch trellises here, and so they have a lot further to go. But these Ideal Market beans didn't do very good. Those back in the back half, you can see, grew a little better. I was trying a few different kinds this year, and what I've done is I've actually gone in here and planted some new beans. In fact, these have grown since this morning. None of these leaves, it was just the beans here this morning when I took a picture of this and posted it on Facebook. If you're not on our Facebook, then you should go and check it out. Because I post a lot of stuff on Facebook as far as the development of the garden. But we have all this grass that's incursioning into this bed, and this was the bed that I did not do very well, and I am constantly fighting the dollar weed here, and I'm going to continue fighting the dollar weed this year. You can see there's one little one growing here right next to this bean. If I pull it up gently, oh, it's just a little piece. Good, that's a good thing. But this dollar weed, yeah, it is prolific. Try to get it in pieces like this, so you can take it out like spaghetti. Oh my goodness, look at that piece come out. Oh no, I hurt the bean. All right, let's get that back in there. Got to be careful, especially with these young beans. I think they might do okay, but not quite every day I do some of this, but I do it frequently because this stuff grows prolifically. This dollarweed, pennywort it's also called. But we have several beans growing in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's another 5. Oh, there's another one coming up, just coming up right there. Should be another, oh, right here, here's another one. We'll start, when they grow tall enough, we'll train them onto this trellis and they'll grow up. Those are actually the good beans we have in the backyard. Let me go get a few seconds of video to show you what those ones I just planted are. So we're back in the raised bed, and this arch trellis has the blue Lake Stringless pole beans that I planted on the front. We'll cover this more in a little bit. And that's what I've planted in here. And I'm gonna fill in here until we get a nice full coverage here, because we want this as a little bit of a privacy thing. Of course, that's right next to the grapefruits, and you'll see the grapefruits are coming right along beautifully. There's a lot of grapefruit on here. Lots of them are developing. I keep running into this big one over here every time I go to my trash can back there. Hopefully I won't knock it off before it develops. But we've got a lot of grapefruit coming in. And then, of course, the grapes. And the grapes are really taking off. In fact, I added this string to kind of train these to go towards the arbor. And you can see this thing has tendrils. So these tendrils are reaching out, trying to grab onto something. And I want those to eventually grab onto the arbor. You can see there's another one there. And another one in the back there. Unfortunately, I only have enough arbor here for probably 1 or 2 plants. And there's an extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plants in there that I really don't have room for. In fact, I've been watching this thing over here. This came from somewhere. In fact, I remember this stick when I buried all this. This stick was just kind of sticking out here, and I thought, well, it'll develop into more roots, I guess. Well, it actually grew. All the green on this thing right here is new growth. So I don't know what to do with that yet. I'm still learning grapes. Follow along with me, and maybe we can find some things out together. But this thing here, whoops, sorry about that. This thing here, there's a lot of growth on it. All that bright green growth, that is all brand new growth. Very exciting. In fact, over here, the only thing that's original, you can see there's dark green down here. There's just a few leaves that are dark green. All this new stuff is the bright green. It's awesome. I can't get over it. So that's the grapes. And of course, we're coming near the end here. The Mother of Millions is coming out. We talked about this, how every one of these little leaves on the end is a new plant, and these things here will fall and grow little new plants everywhere. And you can see there's just tons and tons and tons of them on all these. These have all come out since the last video tour. Like, look at this leaf. Every single one, oh, I'm actually knocking off a bunch, but every single one of those little leaves is a new plant. I just knocked off several. In fact, you can see there's one right there that I just knocked off. There's one there that fell off. It's already taken root. And if you look in the middle here, all of those came from one of those little growths on the end of a leaf. It's really quite amazing. This is a very interesting plant. I have no good reason to have it here, but I thought it was interesting. So this year I'm hoping these Satsuma oranges do good. There's a lot of oranges coming out. They're looking pretty good. We'll just have to see what happens with them. And then of course the blueberries. We're coming down to the last item here on the part 1 tour. The blueberries have mostly been harvested. In fact, you can see here's one right there. So that's still a little bit red inside the end. I'm looking around here. I've actually been harvesting fresh blueberries for our project. You can see there's not much left on here. Let's see if this one is any good. It still has a little bit of, it doesn't want to come off easily. I try to wait till they come off easily. Problem is the bees have been feeling quite randy about protecting their blueberries. I think these blueberries belong to them now. And so when I get too far up in here, I'll get visited with a bee, one of my honeybees, which are just right through up there. Oh, looky here. Here we go. Oh, this is a big one right there. Didn't come off real easy. Let's see how that tastes. Oh, tastes blue. Alrighty. So that is the front and side gardens. I'm gonna go plant some of those zinnias and nasturtium in red cups in that front bed eventually. It's getting really hot today. You can probably see me dripping sweat, but we'll continue maybe next week with the melon beds in the back, and then the following week with the raised garden beds. At the end, if you have not done so, please remember to subscribe and like this video. We're trying to get up to 100 subscribers in these early days to get our custom URL. And every subscriber helps right now. So subscribe. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.